A warm welcome to everyone on the Business on Purpose Challenge. We'll be going on a journey together over the next 20 minutes or so. So let me just share my slide deck with you. My name is Andy Hawkins, and I'm really looking forward to being your guide on this journey. Over the last 3 decades, I've worked in a wide range of industries, from finance to renewables. A couple of years in chocolate with Cadbury, which was delicious. Community development in Africa for 5 years in a township just outside of Cape Town, and then some time as a champion for fair trade. But most of my career has been in the tech sector, helping organizations to innovate and deliver a significantly greater impact for their clients. As I trace my own personal steps over the last 3 decades, a significant number of them have been focused around helping and supporting others. And I've discovered that's my purpose, my why, my Ikigai. For those of you who are not familiar with Ikigai, it's a Japanese concept that helps you find your sweet spot, combining what you love, what the world needs, what you can be paid for, and what you are good at. I can recommend it as a great tool and certainly worth investigating. During the last few months in a time of lockdown, many of us have carried out a degree of introspection. And this has also spilled over into corporate introspection. Individuals and companies now more than ever want to ensure that they are making a difference, adding value to the world as a force for good. Business on Purpose helps organizations to reassess their purpose, their why, their Ikigai, to reconnect with that purpose and help them assess how their business impact is aligned to it. The Fair Trade mark is now an incredibly well-known logo and appears on hundreds of products. When I'm buying my tea, coffee, wine, or chocolate, I can now have a high degree of confidence that my purchase has excellent provenance and is benefiting those involved in farming and producing it. There are, of course, other schemes and logos, such as the Rainforest Alliance, and some organizations self-certify. But for my money, I believe that fair trade is certainly my preferred option by far, as it offers a much more robust accreditation process, is now widely recognized, which minimizes confusion for the consumer, and has now been established for many years. Whilst fair trade is undoubtedly an excellent way to accredit and assure some of the products that we buy, how might we be able to do something similar with our businesses? To give our clients, staff, communities, confidence in products and services we offer, to grow trust and deepen relationships. Let's explore how we might be able to do that, to be a force for good. The vast majority of the people I know and work with are all really fantastic people who work hard and do the very best they can. Individually, they care about the environment and are often involved supporting their local communities and charities. They are good people who want to do good. So how can that translate across to business? Again, I know many businesses who do great work and don't tend to cause much harm to society. But how can these businesses better understand their social and environmental impact? How can they measure it? How can they improve it? It can be a real challenge to identify and quantify. Obviously, their balance sheet reports their financial metrics, and there are other standards such as ISO 9001 for quality management, 14001 for environmental management, and 27001 for information security. But how can a company start to measure their social impact as well as their environmental impact? What frameworks and tools are there that can be used to address these issues? Ultimately aimed at enabling companies to do more good, including for people and planet. With traditional business, there has usually been a fundamental challenge to this inasmuch as the shareholders or owners were in business primarily to make a profit, and all other issues, including any social or environmental impact, were always secondary to profit. That didn't make them bad companies, but it did mean that profit was always their number one goal. Fair trade has enabled us to buy fair trade bananas, to enjoy them as a consumer, for the retailer to make a margin, and for the farmer and producer to also make a fair return, not to have the last drop of margin squeezed out of them, and for their communities to benefit with improved healthcare and education facilities. In the same way fair trade demonstrates so well that there is a fairer, more balanced way of life for the banana market, so too there is a better way in business. And there are thousands of businesses around the world who can testify to this. Certified B Corp are a new kind of business that balance purpose and profit. They are legally required to consider the impact of their decisions on their workers, customers, suppliers, community, and the environment. This is a community of leaders driving a global movement of people using business as a force for good. B Corp offers businesses the opportunity to take the leap and place purpose on the same level as profit by joining the B Corp movement. When big multinationals make pledges on being carbon neutral or eliminating the gender pay gap, it can be easy to forget that these firms might be greenwashing in an effort to obscure the fact that they invest in fossil fuel companies or have no women amongst their highest earners. But when you come across a B Corp certified company, you can be confident that you've found a sustainable firm who really are using business as a force for good. Because B Corp certification is the business version of fair trade, it sends a message to customers and clients that the company focuses as much on purpose as it does on profit. A rigorous B Corp assessment measures a company's performance across 5 areas: governance, workers, community, the environment, and customers. This spans everything from how sustainable the services and products are to whether the company employs a diverse workforce and supports their local communities. The B Corp certification has gained serious traction in recent years as the climate crisis ramps up and debates around diversity in the business world become more widespread and well-rounded. Today, there are in excess of 3,000 B Corp certified companies globally, including Bristol-based Pukka Herbs, Triodos Bank, Adlib Recruitment, and a number of others. They are legally required to consider the impact of their decisions on their workers, customers, suppliers, community, and the environment. This is a community of leaders driving a global movement of people using business as a force for good. A rigorous B Corp assessment measures a company's performance across the 5 areas. Let's now take a quick look at the B Corp Business Impact Assessment. To start your journey towards becoming a B Corp certified firm, the first thing to do is complete their online assessment tool, which is completely free. Even if you have no interest in becoming B Corp certified and just want to see how you compare to other companies, you can do that quite simply. It's a great benchmarking tool as it highlights areas of your business you might need to do more work on and others where you're already doing well. Over 50,000 businesses have been through this free process and surfaced a wide range of highly valuable insights. When you achieve a score of at least 80 out of a possible 200, you then become eligible to proceed to the next stage if you choose to do so. To become B Corp certified, a company must go through a rigorous, independent assessment which puts the company's full environmental and social impact under the microscope. The process can take anything from a few weeks to years, depending on the size of the task and what needs to be done. French food giant Danone has a goal to certify all of its subsidiaries with the aim of becoming fully certified by 2030. There's an annual fee, and companies must recertify every 2 years, and it's certainly not as simple as ticking a box and then you get a badge. B Corp examines all aspects of your business and really goes into the nuts and bolts of the company and how it's run. It's this consistent rigor that makes the certification so worthwhile and credible. For many companies, the B Corp process is an opportunity to review their environmental impact. Reduced air travel by using video conferencing for meetings or installing eco-friendly lighting certainly help, but waste might remain an issue for many businesses. Each one has different challenges and things to celebrate. The business impact assessment will help bring focus and clarity where it's really needed. The assessment isn't just about the environment, but a much wider range of issues. For example, it also assesses gender equality and staff diversity. Companies can score extra points if they use suppliers with greater diversity in their ownership. What's more, rather than just protecting shareholders' interests, B Corp status requires you to look out for all of your stakeholders, employees, customers, suppliers, and so on. That means more transparency and encouraging openness with your team about how you're doing financially. The assessment is also a great opportunity to interact with both clients and suppliers. You can be brave in challenging them and the way they conduct their business. If they aren't already thinking about how environmentally and socially sound their business practices are, they could be encouraged to take steps to progress. Their actions and impact are now part of your reputation. With a target of 80 points from a possible 200 in order to then go for accreditation, we're now going to dive a little deeper. Governance includes mission and engagement, where you might describe your positive impact and talk about how you take social and environmental impact into consideration when making decisions. Governance also covers ethics and transparency, how you promote ethical decision-making and what information is shared, and ensures that your mission is locked by enshrining it into your articles of association. The next section covers workers, how your workers benefit. It looks at issues such as shared ownership, their financial security, health and safety, career development, and employee engagement and satisfaction. Community covers areas such as diversity and inclusion, economic impact that you have on the communities in which you operate, civic engagement, giving, and also investigates your supply chain management. Environment examines your impact, how you manage and promote environmental stewardship across air, climate, water, land, and waste. The fifth area covers your customers and positive outcomes which you can deliver for them, how you ensure you deliver and measure customer satisfaction, improve impact, and whether you serve any underserved populations directly or indirectly. The final section checks for full and transparent disclosure, covering the industries you serve, your supply chain, and practices. As you work through the assessment, there are a number of gateway questions, which then surface appropriate questions which affect total points available, to be scored from a total of 200 across all sections, with a threshold of 80 points required in order to become B Corp certified. A key point is that placing people and planet at the same priority level as profits sends a clear message to all of your audiences. Businesses certified by B Corp grew 28 times faster than UK GDP in 2017. Because we're part of a global community of like-minded businesses, there's a tendency for people to buy from other B Corps, to win business from companies that you might not have previously approached. Brands built on a sense of purpose will attract the right customers, make higher margins, and outperform their competitors. There is also a positive impact for your staff. According to a survey by PR firm Global Tolerance, 62% of millennials want to work for a company that has a positive impact on the world. People will want to join just because you're a B Corp, and more importantly, people will want to stay. This decade will be crucial for climate crisis. It will separate progressive companies that understand it from head-in-the-sand businesses that think they can ignore it, and that it will be business as usual. The latter will get tripped up very quickly, as ex-Bank of England's Mark Carney recently alluded to. Whether a company actually goes through a formal business impact assessment process and subsequently the accreditation is obviously up to them. But I believe that going through the general framework will surface a range of valuable insights that will make it a really worthwhile journey for the clients, staff, community, the environment, and also their bottom line, or triple bottom line. Using business as a force for good can collectively make an enormous difference, and I'm keen to be a catalyst in this. If I were parts of a car, I would be a turbocharger and a sat-nav. The turbocharger would turbocharge you on your journey to measure your social and environmental impact and to take the business impact assessment, and to be a guide to help you navigate your way through the business impact assessment, to chart a path towards making progress. It can feel somewhat of a forest at times, and some organizations will value someone to guide them through the process. People want to work for, buy from, and invest in businesses they believe in. BCorp certification is the most powerful way to build credibility, trust, and value for your businesses. You obviously have a few routes available. One is to do nothing and put your head in the sand. I don't think anyone here wants to do that. Another would be to simply make gradual improvements as a different route, as and when they can. But I suspect that won't result in the kind of changes needed. And a third route that I would encourage each and every one of you to take would be to complete the B Corp assessment tool. It's free and available online. And obviously, if any of you would value some guidance in that process, I would be more than happy to help and offer an initial free mapping exercise that I'd be delighted to invest in your journey. If subsequently you need help to complete the assessment, help with your policies and processes, advice on any next best action, or support if you decide to become B Corp accredited, then please just get in touch. Now, there are obviously some reasons why a company might not feel this is for them. Maybe they're already getting loads of business, have a fantastic brand reputation, and already caring amazingly well for their workers, customers, community, and environment. And if that's you, I'm genuinely delighted and would love to celebrate with you and encourage to take the business impact assessment. Maybe the financial cost is too much, but all I can do is repeat what many people I've spoken to have told me, that they have all exceeded the cost involved with increased business as a direct result of their improved branding and consumer trust, and that they've also benefited by better understanding risk to their business and therefore measuring, managing, and mitigating that risk, again significantly outweighing the cost of accreditation. Just think for a moment about the damage caused by a reputational failure. It's not something any of us would want. Losing key employees, stopping to clean up a PR mess, or spending lots of time, energy, and money to find new customers can slow growth. Time is also a real challenge. We all get that and understand that. Even the minutes that you have spent invested today are a real and genuine investment. Time will certainly be needed in taking the steps necessary, and everything we do that creates real value requires an investment of time. But I'm able to help significantly with this, to help minimize time required and maximize impact. So please do feel free to talk to me about this, and let's get our heads together. One of the best approaches I often use is to initially allocate just 1 hour to each area of the assessment. Whether that's 1 hour per day for a week, or it's spread across a number of weeks, those 1 hour sessions will help identify your current situation. Map out what might be needed in much more detail, surface any reputational risks to your business, and maximize your social and environmental impact. Those hours will be some of the most valuable you could spend and will be a great investment in your own business. When astronauts look down and view the world, they have two main reactions. The first one of beauty, how beautiful the planet is from up there. And the second reaction is one of sadness. How can we do better as a collective human race for the good of the planet and future generations? Some good questions to ask yourself are, if not us, who? If not now, when? I would simply encourage you to start where you are, use what you have, and do what you can. The goal is progress, not perfection. And remember, you're a network of others, including you and I, a force for good together. Helping you on your journey is why I am here, my purpose, my ikigai. I hope that this challenge has been enjoyable, informative, challenging, and inspiring. I'd love to know more about where you're at. Let me send you a bar of fair trade chocolate. Just drop me an email. And whilst you chew things over, you can decide what's next. You can be a force for good. We can be a force for good. Who knows, we can change Bristol, your city, and even the world. Many thanks for your time and taking the challenge. Please let me have any feedback, as we want to improve this as much as we can. And also let me know if you have others who'd be interested in taking on this challenge as well. I look forward to hearing from you, sending you some chocolate, and walking this incredible journey with you. Many thanks. You're really appreciated, and have a great day.